the brilliant, enigmatic, and transformative. Heath Ledger was more than an actor. He was a force of nature, a fearless performer who gave his all to every role. His life and career burned with an intensity that left an indelible mark on cinema. This is the story of Heath Ledger, the star who burned too bright. Born on April 4th, 1979, in Perth, Australia, Heath Ledger grew up with a passion for creativity. From an early age, he showed a natural talent for performance, starring in local plays and school productions.
Heath used to follow his sister, Kate, all her productions that she was at school.
Heath being in the front row like this for every single one. That's what I want to do. I can't wait till I can do that.
He'd already had this vision as to where he was going to be. He had these little shiny stars on the ceiling that he'd put up in this old house. He said, I'm going to be in the film industry, and he said, I'm going to be a film actor.
At just 17, Heath left school and moved to Sydney to chase his dream of becoming an actor.
Pretty much waited for the day for me to finish school, and he was like, let's go to Sydney.
I've got nothing to run away from in Perth. I love my family, I love my friends, I love the city. It's just there was all this going on outside of that, and I just had to be part of it. I had to go out and learn for myself. The one thing that's got me to where I'm sitting is my instincts. I'm impatient. I didn't want to wait 3 years to work. I wanted to just get out there and do it.
Heath Ledger left his hometown of Perth and traveled to Sydney with a singular dream: to pursue a career in acting. Armed with raw talent and unwavering determination, Heath knew this was the first step towards something extraordinary.
I'm not a king, and I don't want to be. My training in combat is limited, and I don't pretend to be a tactician. But if our fight is for this land, then I have the will, and I would be honored to lead you into battle.
We're gonna scorch their asses!
Yeah. Tully, our goal is unity, not revenge. We're gonna scorch their asses!
His early roles in Australian television, including Roar, showcased his potential and set the stage for his international breakthrough. With his talent recognized in Australia, Heath Ledger made the bold move to the United States, seeking to conquer Hollywood and turn his dreams of international stardom into reality.
Heath arrived at some odd hour, and he turns around and looks at me with a big smile, says, hello. My roommate, Lisa Zane, knew, in her words, that he was gonna clean up, meaning be successful in Hollywood. My friend's script, 10 Things I Hate About You, he read the script, said, I really like the role of Patrick. And I said, isn't Patrick the lead? He said, yes, Patrick's the lead, and that's the part I want. And when he came back from the audition, he said, I got Patrick. And I was like, really? And that's when I realized that Heath was different.
Nice, huh?
Is it for me?
Yeah, I thought you could use it, when you start your band. Besides, I had some extra cash, Some asshole paid me to take out this really great girl.
Is that right?
Yeah, but I screwed up. It's not every day you find a girl who'll flash someone to get you out of detention.
Ledger's breakout role as the charming bad boy Patrick Verona introduced him to the world. The film's success launched his Hollywood career, but Heath remained humble and focused on challenging himself as an actor.
I worked really hard to be in the position I'm in now. I really did. It's easy for people to just say, oh, it's luck. And maybe it is. I don't know.
It was pretty early in my career. He was one of my early clients. He was looking for people that he could trust. So one of the things that happens is when you're good at something in a movie, everyone offers you that same thing. Anything that, sort of resembled 10 Things I Hate About You came his way. It's exactly what he didn't want to do next. He wanted to mix it up and find a new challenge.
People in Hollywood can't hear no. They don't like to hear no. And so I had a lot of fun saying no for a year. The last 5 months of that hard to get period just flipped around. I was like, come on, employ me.
In 1999, Heath Ledger's career reached a turning point when he was invited to audition for The Patriot. The screen test was a chance to showcase his talent on a grand scale and to work alongside his childhood idol, Mel Gibson.
The screen test for The Patriot came up with Mel Gibson, who's the biggest Australian movie star.
That was one of his idols. He loved Mad Max, and it was a huge thing for him.
The screen test impressed director Roland Emmerich and secured Heath the role of Gabriel Martin, a young man torn between his family and the fight for independence. For Heath, it wasn't just a career milestone. It was a dream come true to act beside one of his heroes.
Mel Gibson, he was the guy, I guess, who bridged the gap between our two industries, opened our eyes and let us know that we can work in other countries. And of course, he's Mad Max. I always wanted to, of course, he's like a hero of ours. He was my hero.
Do you intend to enlist without my permission?
Yes, I do. Father, I thought you were a man of principle.
When you have a family of your own, perhaps you'll understand.
When I have a family of my own, I won't hide behind them.
He called me one day from the set, really upset, having a hard time, and he was struggling, just a crisis of confidence. He's standing across from his idol, acting with Mel Gibson for a young Aussie kid. It was a lot.
It was bad, and I was shaky, and my voice was nervous and all tense, and literally beating my head against the wall, saying, how can I get myself out of this?
He gets really nervous about it, which I remember, because when you're younger, you really you get wound up about it.
Mel was so generous with him and really took him under his wing and was amazing.
Mel really taught him how to come in and out of a character. He definitely learned how to relax. I think Mel was the first teacher that he had.
I think he's tremendous. He's got what they call the unknown factor, whatever it is that sort of lights up the screen. He's just a very likable guy.
I'm sorry.
Be quiet. I'll take care of you. You're going to be all right.
Father, I'm sorry about Thomas.
Oh, son, that wasn't your fault. That was mine. Hold on. You're going to be all right. Don't go. Gabriel, don't.
The dynamic between Ledger's raw talent and Gibson's seasoned experience elevated the film, showcasing Heath's ability to stand out, even alongside one of Hollywood's biggest stars. While his career flourished, Heath's personal life became more introspective. He spoke often of missing his family in Australia, and he leaned on their support to stay grounded amidst the demands of Hollywood.
It was a little terrifying to be in another city with no friends. It's a lonely life. That's why he took me to most places, is that it was us. We felt at home together.
Heath and I had mutual friends. So it was a setup, we met, and that was it. There were always cameras. I was amazed when I saw all of the stuff together. He was documenting everything. He'd be capturing the next moment and the next moment. Didn't stop. It never stopped.
Heath Ledger was not only a gifted actor, but also a generous mentor. He frequently welcomed aspiring actors into his home, allowing them to stay there while they pursued their dreams. Even when Heath was away, his house became a haven for creativity and collaboration, reflecting his unwavering support for new talent.
Heath's place was renowned. Casting directors would ask you, and are you one of the Aussies that lives at Heath's place?
We lived in Los Feliz in this house where the doors were just open and people would come and stay.
Everyone and anyone was welcome, He had such generosity of spirit. You would never know who's staying at Heath's house.
It's just miraculous, the energy
him, arms open as always.
Heath's next successful project came in 2001 with A Knight's Tale. The film showcased his charm, wit, and heroic spirit, solidifying his rising star status in Hollywood.
You have been weighed. You have been measured.
And you absolutely
Have been found wanting. Welcome to the new world. God save you, if it is right that he should do so.
Heath really gave an incredible amount of dignity to his characters, even in a film that's as sort of whimsical and light in its way as A Knight's Tale. It's very hard to be as solid as he was.
While A Knight's Tale became a fan favorite in 2001, Heath struggled with the promotional side of Hollywood. He found it difficult to sell the movie, feeling that his role as an artist wasn't to convince people to watch, but to focus on the craft itself. The pressure of presenting the film took a toll, marking one of the many challenges he would face in balancing his creative integrity with the demands of fame.
The poster and the campaign was He Will Rock You. It was really built on Heath.
He was like, whoa, that's my face. The posters were everywhere.
I could see him getting more upset being a salesman and going out and talking about the movie and selling the film.
He wanted fame, and then when he got it, he didn't want it.
I really love what I do, but ultimately you work to live, and I just got to give back the equivalent and just live a little, that's all.
And when he told me I have no interest in being that guy, and I'll show you.
Your brother and sister do right by you?
They did the best they could after my folks was gone. No more room for me. That's how come me to end up here. What?
Man, that's more words than you spoke in the past 2 weeks.
Hell, that's the most I've spoken in a year.
In 2005, Ledger delivered one of the most powerful performances of his career in Brokeback Mountain. Sharing the screen with Jake Gyllenhaal, Ledger's portrayal of Ennis Del Mar, a man grappling with forbidden love and societal expectations, earned him an Academy Award nomination and widespread critical acclaim.
He's played a character with very few words. That's the impression people get. That's why he's a good actor. He has the most lines in the movie, but he just say it like a man with few words. He just have the way of doing those lines.
In the script, in the short story, and ultimately in the film, Ennis Del Mar had very few words to express all of this, and so a big part of my job was to physicalize. Sometimes I felt without words, I had more room and I had more freedom to express.
Take after take, he tried to hit a target. There is a target he tried to hit, and when it hits, it's beautiful.
During this time, Heath's personal life reached a milestone. He became a father. His daughter, Matilda, with actress Michelle Williams, became the center of his world. He often described fatherhood as his greatest role, one that gave him profound purpose.
It's simple. We kill the Batman.
If it's so simple, why haven't you done it already?
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
How much you want?
Half. You're crazy. I'm not.
In 2008, Ledger delivered a performance that would forever change the superhero genre. Under the direction of Christopher Nolan and alongside Christian Bale, Heath brought a chaotic, unsettling energy to the Joker, creating a villain both terrifying and magnetic.
It was terrific working with Heath. He was a tremendous professional and a lovely guy to be around, and he'd really worked out very precisely how to play this character in a very unique and different way, and the performance is very complex and very hard to get an exact handle on what he's doing, but he's extraordinarily moving and frightening.
To become the Joker in The Dark Knight, Heath secluded himself for weeks, crafting the character's voice, laugh, and mannerisms. Through a journal of dark thoughts, he fully immersed himself, delivering a legendary performance that redefined villains in cinema.
If Tim Burton was doing The Dark Knight,
and asked me to play the Joker, I wouldn't have taken it, because try and even touch what Jack Nicholson did in Tim Burton's world would be a crime. And so Chris came to me, and he'd already set up the world for me. I'd seen what world it was that I would be playing in. So I knew it was open for a fresh interpretation. I also instantly kind of had something up my sleeve.
You know, he pretty well locked himself up in a hotel in his apartment for a month or so to sort of galvanise the upcoming character in his own mind. That was typical of Heath on any movie. He would certainly immerse himself in the upcoming character. The hospital room one was kind of intriguing because his sister Kate used to dress him up in a nurse's outfit. He looked pretty funny in a nurse's outfit when he was a kid, and he looked pretty funny in the nurse's outfit in the film. So.
My one experience with Heath on the film was our scene together in the hospital, which is really my only scene with him. And I was in the hospital bed that day, and I thought, well, I don't really have any lines. What am I gonna do? And I had no idea what was gonna happen. And so I got in the bed, and they were lighting, and Chris was walking around and doing things, and then Heath was always in character. And then he would come up, I was laying there, and I was watching him the whole time. Then he'd start saying his lines, and I would watch him, watch him come around the bed like this. And then all of a sudden my hand would go up like this. And he caught my hand. And then when we came time to shoot, we had this thing beautifully choreographed. You know, we never said a word to each other. And then it was a long day, and we walked out back to our trailers, and Heath was here, and I was walking, and he puts his hand on my shoulder, and he goes, "That's what acting's all about."
Well, hello, beautiful. You must be Harvey's squeeze. And you are beautiful.
I remember coming to work, seeing him come in and start to do what he was doing, you know, which was the first time I saw it. And I thought, and I still think about this sometimes, it's so hard to be good in a huge movie like that. To be amazing like the way Heath was in a movie that's got explosions and like huge stunt scenes and is like a whole nother thing. And I don't know if anyone's ever done that as well as he did in The Dark Knight.
While his performance earned him global acclaim, it came at a cost. Heath's immersion in the role took a toll on his mental health.
I am very proud to present to you the one, the extraordinary Dr. Parnassus.
Ledger's final role in the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus showcased his versatility and boundless creativity.
Do you dream? Or should I say, can you put a price on your dreams?
I don't normally allow much ad-libbing, but he was just so good at it. He knew that character.
Heath is such a giving actor, meaning when he's not on camera and he's doing a scene with you, he's very giving in that he's still acting, and it lets you be your character and concentrate on your character.
In every take, he would come up with something different and surprising. It was surprising every day, and Heath was leading the pack because he got Andrew Garfield ad-libbing as well, because Andrew had never ad-libbed before. Suddenly, everybody was adding their own little bits to my film.
It was a force of nature, and to be in the presence of that, and I think I can speak for us both and say that we feel really lucky to have met him and to have been in a creative situation with him.
During the filming, Heath Ledger's magic work remained incomplete. In a remarkable tribute, actors Johnny Depp, Jude Law, and Colin Farrell stepped in to honor his vision, celebrating the brilliance he brought to the role. During the filming of the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, Heath was still grappling with the lingering effects of playing the Joker. The role's intensity had capped with him, drawing him into a dark and lonely place. Despite his best efforts to move forward, the weight of the character stayed with him.
I hadn't talked to him all morning, and I was getting concerned. I kept texting saying, "Hey, what's up?" He would have texted back in any situation, except if he was...
Called one of our friends in New York to see if she could go to his house. That's when reality kicked in.
On January 22nd, 2008, Heath Ledger was found dead in his New York apartment, the result of an accidental overdose of prescription medications. The world lost a brilliant talent far too soon.
The world did find out before we did It will haunt me for the rest of my life.
It was something that we had to share, and sharing that.
I didn't know him. I have an impression, a strong impression I would have liked him very much as a man if I had. I'd already marveled at some of his work and had looked forward so much to seeing the work that he would do in the future. So
Ledger's passing left a void in Hollywood, but his work continues to inspire. His posthumous Academy Award for The Dark Knight was a testament to his unparalleled talent and dedication.
In a year of striking film images, perhaps the most unforgettable was that of a man with his face smeared in clown makeup, gleefully sticking his head out of a speeding car, relishing the night wind and reveling in the chaos he has unleashed on the streets of Gotham City. Menacing, mercurial, droll, and diabolical, Heath Ledger has left us an original and enduring legacy.
Heath Ledger's life was brief, but his impact was eternal. A star who burned too bright, his legacy lives on in the unforgettable characters he brought to life. This is Heath Ledger, the star who burned too bright. Heath Ledger's legacy reminds us that true artistry comes from passion, courage, and the willingness to dive deep into the unknown. This is Eternal Visionary, and until next time, keep dreaming, keep believing.